Are you looking to finally manifest wealth into your life? If you enter this state of being, the state of being that I'm about to tell you about, you will manifest wealth beyond your wildest dreams. I've helped many clients do it. I've just had a client manifest $68,000. I had another client manifest £70,000 to save his business only a few years ago. I had a client manifest $70,000 after spending $5,000 a month for advertising and getting nothing. And all by doing these simple steps. These 3 simple steps, and I'm going to explain them in today's video. If you like spirituality simplified, please like, share and subscribe. This is where we talk about manifestation, healing, creating abundance and wealth, all through the art of letting go. But what is letting go really? Well, it's a state of being. Neville Goddard told us to live in the state of the wish fulfilled. Changing your state changes your life. Well, I worked out very quickly that being at peace is the same energy as wealth. It's the same energy as anything. But I'm going to go deeper into it because I talk about peace a lot. But let me talk about this client who nearly had his business shut down. He was having his business shut down because in COVID, he took a rental break. And then guess what? The landlord said to him, I want that money back. I want it back now. Now, we were working together, and this was just around sort of November towards Christmas time, about last year. And we were just thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to solve this issue? Well, I came to him and I said, you have to realize that we have to get to the state of being where we believe that there is only one source of our supply. And that's the first step of riches. You must come to the truth that God is the true source of your supply. Now, I've helped many entrepreneurs with thousands of business problems, but this one was big because he only had a few weeks to get the money and he didn't have it. So I had to remind him how we need to get into this state is firstly, we need to notice the fear you have around losing your business. This business represented so much to him. It represented safety for his wife and children, for himself. It represented looking after his family. It represented failure if it did go down. And he just felt like he'd given up a corporate job a few years ago to follow his dreams of entrepreneurship, and he had failed. So he was punishing himself. He was fearful. He had all these conflicting emotions. And what happens? You get your deepest feeling translated to you. It expresses onto the screen of space. So what I had to teach him was how to master your emotions. So that's step 2. Firstly, you have to reason out that there is a source of your supply. And when you go to the spiritual sense, God told us, I am the giver and the gift, which means he's all things, inside of you and without. The next step that we have to realize is that we have to master our emotions, because it says to us what you believe that you ask for in prayer and believe is already yours, so it shall be. So I don't need to get like ecstatic, or I don't need to go extreme. I just need to master my emotions. Let me put this to you, anyone who's new to watching my channel. If you had all the money you needed, would you worry about money? If you had the health that you needed, would you worry about health? These are the things that I'm trying to tell you. A wealthy person does not feel concerned about money. They expect money to work for them. So I had to say to him, we need to become expectant that this issue is solved. And this was the thing. I also did this with the client who made $70,000 in his business as well. Become expectant. So firstly, God is the true source of my supply. That's what you need to repeat regularly, systematically. Then you need to notice your fear around money. Now, he was paying bills, and every time he was paying them, he was scared. He was paying them with fear. He was paying them with tension. What does that do? It just starts to create more lack. So I had to say, you have to start paying your bills with love. You have to start paying your bills with peace. So you're not allowed to actually pay the bill until you work with the energy inside of you and you start to notice the energy that's going on inside of you. Do not take action from fear. You see, he come back to me and also said, I have been asking everyone I believe would say yes to this 70,000, but I still haven't done it. Well, I've manifested wealth in my life now. I've been able to create a wonderful, loving, carefree life. And it's just getting more and more magical. So again, I had to remind him, I am not special. I am not an extremely special businessman. I do not know the intricacies of how to write a business plan, but I do know the laws of mind. And the laws of mind tell me that what I believe is mine and what I focus on, I shall get. So when you're asking people from a place of fear, even though you expect them to say yes, the extreme fear and need of getting it is nullifying it. It's like adding an acid to an alkaline. It just becomes an inert substance. It becomes like just a neutral substance. So nothing changes. So he just stayed in the same spot. So I had to say to him, do not keep trying to ask from that state of being. You have to change your state of being by noticing the feeling, relaxing, releasing it, and then re-intending. I have all the money I need. My business is God's business. That need is now met in divine order and divine time. You see, because he had a time frame, we had to teach him how to relax. Well, I'm not going to lie to you guys. 6 or 7 weeks went by and we were coming towards the Christmas break and he kind of rang me and I still had faith. He was losing it, but I kept him on board on his faith. And suddenly we laughed at the end of one of our calls and we just said, it's all a game. This is the next step. No one talks about enough. Divine indifference. It's where you accept where you are without judgment, but you're indifferent to what's going to happen because you believe in God. You're indifferent to what's happening in front of you because you believe all things through God are perfect. No matter what happens here, something good will come out of it. And there's a freedom to that because there's less of a force and a push, you see. So we stop pushing from there. So the steps are: God is the true source of my supply. You master your emotions by relaxing, releasing and re-intending. And then you get divinely indifferent. That's the part of letting go. Okay, I have no control, because people think that manifestation is about control. I can control things. I can make things happen. But control is the biggest thing in front of you that shows you how frightened you are. If you're trying to control something, you're really frightened. See, he was still trying to control the timing. He was still trying to control everything. But the interesting thing is when we got to 2 days before the deadline, he just gave up. He couldn't control it anymore, but didn't go, oh, this is terrible, I give up. He just went, oh my God, it's hilarious. Well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen now. And he was free for a moment. Guess what? The next day he rang me. You're not going to believe this, Michael, but 30 minutes after our call, I had a call from a friend of mine who said, someone wants to invest in me. He loves my businesses. He wants to invest in me. And he said to him, I will give you, and he needed £35,000, sorry. He said, how much does he want to invest? They had the phone call the next day, 70,000. He manifested double what he needed to keep the doors open. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is the beauty of surrender, of letting go, of being divinely indifferent, of knowing that God is the source of your supply. Today, myself, my friends, a business that I was paying took 2 times the amount of money, £17,000 out of my account. Yes, I reacted initially. Yes, because I'm not perfect and it was a big amount. I was safe still, but it felt so vulnerable. But I sat with that vulnerability. I observed it, relaxed, released, re-intended. I said, there's a divine solution here. Well, it did take me 30 minutes, 40 minutes on the call. Having to call them up and sort it out and call my bank and do this and take actions. But the money hit my account. The money's back in the account. There is no loss. See, when we get frightened, we live in lack and we think there's loss. There's no loss in this world, my friends. That's the final rule. There is no loss. There is only growth. And when you realize that, it doesn't matter if someone takes this money. It doesn't matter. Because you're going to trust that God will bring it back to you multiplied in divine order, in divine time. I hope this answers the questions for people out there looking to solve business issues, manifest money and other things. If you're learning to let go and you're an entrepreneur, now is the time to reach out. Next year, I'm condensing my coaching. So I'm not taking on as many people, only people that are really, truly wanting to change. If you want to get on the original packages of coaching, look out now. Link is in the description. I'd love to meet you and see if we could work together. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.